All right, let's talk about grammar. In this explainer, we're going to tackle some of the most common mistakes out there. The goal? To turn that "is this right?" feeling into total confidence. You know that feeling, right? You've just typed out a super important email, your finger is hovering over the send button, and then you just stop. You stare at it, wondering, does this even sound right? Am I shooting myself in the foot here? We've all been there.
Well, that's what we're here to fix. We're going to shine a light on those little writing traps that catch everyone out. By the end of this, you'll be able to stop that second guessing and just write clearly with some real authority.
Okay, first up, punctuation's power plays. I love that. Because these tiny little marks, commas, apostrophes, you name it, they're basically the traffic signals for your sentences. They tell your reader exactly when to slow down, when to stop, and how ideas connect. They're a huge deal.
So, let's talk about the first big one, the comma splice. This happens all the time. It's when you try to smash two complete sentences together using just a comma. A comma is like sticky tape. It's good for a quick pause, but it's not strong enough to hold two heavy boxes together. You need something stronger.
And here's what I mean. That first sentence, the report is due tomorrow, we need to work overtime. It just feels rushed, right? Kind of breathless. But look at the fix. Just by adding a little word like so, you create a logical link. Of course, you could also just use a period and make two sentences, or you could use a semicolon, but we'll get to that guy in a sec.
All right, next up is the apostrophe. Probably one of the most abused pieces of punctuation out there. It really only has two jobs. Job 1, showing something belongs to someone, like the company's logo. Job 2, making contractions. Squishing "it is" into "its." What is not its job, ever? Making things plural.
And this is the classic mistake you see everywhere. Logos. That apostrophe has no business being there if you just mean more than one logo. It's just logos, simple as that. Take out that extra apostrophe, and boom, it's correct. Crystal clear.
Okay, last one for this section, the mysterious semicolon. I like to think of it as a super comma. It's stronger than a comma, but not as final as a period. It's for when you have two complete sentences that are so closely related, you just feel like they belong together. See how that works? The project was a success. Everyone contributed. The first part makes a statement, and the second part tells you why. That semicolon is like a little bridge connecting the two ideas. It just creates a really nice, sophisticated flow. All right, moving on. Now we're getting into words that confuse. You know the ones I'm talking about. They sound the same, they look kind of the same, but if you pick the wrong one, you can throw off your entire meaning.
And here's the big one, the big three. There, and there. It's probably the most common mix-up in the entire English language. So let's just nail it down. There is for possession. It belongs to them. There is about a place, over there. And there is just a mashup of they are. If you can get this one right every time, you're already way ahead of the game.
Look at the example. It makes all the difference. And here's the dead simple trick. If you can swap out the word for they are and the sentence still makes sense, then you absolutely need there with the apostrophe. That's it. That's the whole test. Okay, another one that trips people up all the time. Pronouns. Specifically, I versus me, especially when there's someone else in the sentence. It sounds complicated, but the rule is pretty simple. I is the one doing something. Me is the one having something done to it. And here's another great little trick. Just take the other person out of the sentence for a second. Will you say, he gave the presentation to I? No way, that sounds weird. You'd say, he gave the presentation to me. So, when you put John back in, it's still me. He gave the presentation to John and me. Easy.
Okay, so we've looked at the tiny details. Now let's zoom out and talk about the big picture, the actual structure of your sentences. Think of it like building a house. If the foundation is shaky, the whole thing is going to be a mess. And we're going to tackle two opposite problems at the same time here. On one side, you've got the run-on sentence that just goes on and on and on and on. And on the other side, you have the sentence fragment, which is just an incomplete thought. Both are super confusing for your reader.
Let's look at the run-on. The meeting was long. It ended late. It's just two ideas crammed together. But check out how easy the fix is. A little comma and the word end. That's all it takes to connect those ideas properly and give the reader a moment to breathe. Next up, something called parallelism. This sounds fancy, but it's really just about keeping things balanced. It's what gives your writing a nice rhythm and flow. Basically, if you're making a list, all the items in that list should be in the same format. Just listen to the difference here. He enjoys hiking to read and watching movies. It's clunky, right? Now listen to the correct one. He enjoys hiking, reading, and watching movies. Ah, so much better. That ing pattern is smooth and consistent. That's parallelism in action.
Okay, this next one is my favorite because it can create some hilarious mental pictures. A dangling modifier. It's a fancy name for a simple problem. You've got a descriptive phrase that's not attached to the right thing, so it just ends up dangling there, describing something totally wrong.
Take this example. After finishing the report, the deadline was met. The sentence is literally saying that the deadline finished the report, which is, impossible. The fix is easy. Just say who actually did it. After finishing the report, we met the deadline. Now the modifier is attached to the right subject.
All right, we are on the home stretch. These last two checks are what I call the final polish. This is what takes your writing from just, okay, to, wow, that's really well written.
First, subject-verb agreement. It's a basic rule, but so easy to miss. The subject and the verb have to match. So a singular subject gets a singular verb. A plural subject gets a plural verb. In our example, the team is one single unit, so it's the team is working, not the team are working.
And finally, number 10, keep your tenses consistent. Don't be a time traveler in your own sentence. You can't jump from the present tense, presents, to the past tense, explained. It's confusing. Pick a time, past or present, and stick with it. It makes the timeline of events perfectly clear for your reader.
And there you have it, 10 of the most common grammar traps out there. Honestly, everyone makes these mistakes, from beginners to pros. But now you know what to look for, and more importantly, how to fix them.
So if you're going to take away just a few things, let it be these three. 1. Punctuation gives your writing precision. 2. Every word has a specific job. And 3. Good structure is what creates real clarity. Nail these and you're golden.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't about just following rules to avoid red ink from your boss or teacher. It's about being a better communicator. It's about making sure nothing gets in the way of your great ideas. When your writing is clear, your message isn't just heard, it's felt. It becomes powerful.